Hi guys, this is my last review of 2014 and I'm so excited to start the new year. As luck would have it, I chose a book that ends on New Year's Day, and that book would be Dash and Lily's Book of Dares, co-written by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. For those of you who don't know, this is from the same duo that wrote Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Love the movie, but meaning to read the book, and I for sure want to read their third collaboration, Naomi and Eli's No Kiss List. This story is written from dual perspectives, where David would write Dash's chapters and Rachel wrote Lily's. I looked up a couple of their old interviews from when this book first came out, and they admitted that they didn't follow any sort of solid, formal writing outline. They just emailed each other the chapters back and forth to see what they would get, almost like writing prompts, and I kind of love that because they pulled it off so well. I thought they just kind of co-wrote it together, not like split the work right down the middle. And I love they were able to pull that off without any kind of pacing issues. So the premise is that Dash and Lily are two teenagers living in New York City, and it's 3 days away from Christmas. Dash is a bit of a grump. He's very sarcastic, and he absolutely loves to read. He's very much a loner, but ironically has a pretty wide circle of friends. He conned his parents into letting him spend Christmas by himself by telling them both that he was spending Christmas with the other one, which left them free to go on a trip with their new boyfriend or girlfriend. So that left him parent-free until New Year's Day. It was actually kind of genius. So one day he's just out doing his thing in his favorite bookstore, rummaging through his favorite author section, when he finds this little red moleskin notebook that's never been there before. So he looks inside of it, and it's a series of riddles and clues to find these weird, obscure, and sometimes embarrassing books throughout the bookstore. And the book challenges him to leave his own set of clues at the information desk with the notebook, so that the notebook's owner can continue the game and follow his dares, which is where the story takes off, and of course Dash accepts this challenge. We shift perspectives and find out that the original owner of the notebook was Lily, and that she started this game with the help of her older brother Langston. Lily is very sweet and innocent and loves the holidays. She loves to go all out with her huge tight-knit family, but this year, however, she is left alone with her brother for the holidays. All of her relatives have gone out of town, including her parents, and she's feeling pretty left out because even though she's got her brother, he just wants to hole up in his room with his new boyfriend. So Langston and Lily come up with this game for her to play to keep her busy, and also to find her a boyfriend of her own because she's never really dated. She goes to an all-girls school, has a lot of trouble making friends, and her family is so overprotective. So she has zero dating experience and is alone for the holidays otherwise, so she figures, what do I have to lose? So basically this is the story of Dash and Lily sending each other all over New York City through the week of Christmas all the way to New Year's through the series of dares like going to Madame Tussauds Wax Museum or to go see a Jewish punk band at 2 a.m. But they're not just writing dares in the book. Dash and Lily start really opening up to each other as they become these unlikely pen pals that start to fall for each other as they continue to push each other out of their comfort zones and open up. One of the things that I really liked about this book is that it addressed that strange concept that a lot of times we'll usually be more honest and open with complete strangers than our own friends and family because we don't feel like there's as much of a risk, really. Like, we feel like they can't judge us nearly as much. And when Dash and Lily started to romanticize each other in their heads, trying to imagine what they would look like or what their everyday lives must be like and how they just sound so perfect, they each had someone in their lives who just snapped them back to reality. And that's one of my favorite themes in literature. Expectations versus reality and how we handle that and come to grips with it. This book was hilarious and so endearing and sweet. There were entire parts where I was grinning for entire chapters. The chapters are very short, but not in an annoying way. It had such a great, robust cast of these secondary characters that all felt entirely essential to the story. And I was also really sad reading about Dash and Lily's childhoods and how much baggage they still carry because of that. I really wasn't expecting that much emotional depth from this book, and I loved how philosophical and deep they got when they truly opened up to each other. My only two critiques are that their original face-to-face meeting felt a little bit too coincidental, and that their giant, embarrassing mistake later on, while hilariously cringy, felt a little unnecessary to the plot. I would prefer that we got more time with them one-on-one talking to each other without the notebook, and maybe they have an argument from that later on for that later conflict, but I don't think that we got nearly as much time with them one-on-one, face-to-face, without it being kind of awkward and getting to know each other. We only really got that the last maybe 30 pages. End of the day, I had such a blast reading this. I had zero trouble empathizing with both Dash and Lily. David and Rachel did an amazing job of writing such interesting and distinct narratives and meshing their writing styles without ever once losing momentum. It was so seamless and beautiful. So I've got to give Dash and Lily's Book of Dares 4.5 out of 5 stars. Also, really quick, the entire time I was reading this, I couldn't help but think of two of my favorite YouTubers, PJ and Carrie, as Dash and Lily. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next year. Bye!